Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Way of the Brush with me, your host, Kris, aka the Name Butcher, aka Hey You Get Off My Lawn, aka Kris, you're being creepy again. Way of the Brush, the most informative 120 minutes on the internet on the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about painting, terrain, conversions, and just about everything under the sun. So, first-time viewers, be warned, we do go off the rails pretty darn quick around here. So if you want to keep the show on track as far as talking about painting and, wargaming and things of that nature, feel free to leave your comments in the chat, whichever direction I might be in for you. And of course, if you're watching this after the fact, you can submit questions to Kris@wayofthebrush.com. It is in the description below. If you're going to send pictures, send them as attachments in the email. Don't send it off as links to other sites because I won't read it, and so it'll just be a pain in the ass. Also in the description below is a link to wayofthebrush.com. Central hub of all this silliness has the links to all the social medias as well as Discord. Join us on Discord. It's a lot of fun. We keep the conversation rolling 24/7 there. So if you really need an answer to your question, myself or the monkeys are more than happy to answer your questions. And of course, we are very wide open as far as experience levels and things of that. So feel free to ask your questions. I do not believe in dumb questions. Most of the time. Also at wayofthebrush.com is a link for t-shirts. Want to get yourself a t-shirt? Look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world. They're wearing a Way of the Brush t-shirt. And of course, if you purchase yourself a shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt and I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, which is also at wayofthebrush.com. And of course, you'll find a link for Patreon. Huge thank you to all my patrons. Without their support, this channel, these videos, these tutorials just would not be able to go forward. And so with your support, I can continue to do the work that I do, which is educate and inform. And sometimes entertain. Sometimes. So a huge thank you to everybody who supports on Patreon. And of course, if you're not able to support monetarily, i.e. money, thumbing up the video, liking, following, subscribing, ringing the bell, and sharing, and commenting, and all that stuff. All the interactions. It appeases the algorithm gods. And so, that helps as well. And all it takes is a couple clicks of a button, and you're helping me out tremendously. So, huge thank you. And of course, big thank you to Carl, a.k.a. Guymere Alfer, a.k.a. Beer and Blood Bowl. That's his YouTube channel. Check him out. If you love yourself some beer, and you love yourself some Blood Bowl, Beer and Blood Bowl is where it's at. We always take the time to thank Carl, even though he is no longer with us, for taking the time out of his busy day to create the email jingles that play before the email segment of the show. And so always much love to Carl. And of course, speaking of love, much love to my baby bro, Evan, for creating the intro, outro music that plays at the beginning and end of the show. Always much love to my baby bro, Evan. And of course, if you're into rare comics, like rare, like unheard of, check him out, EB Comics. A link is in the description as well as... do I have links on my short site? I don't remember. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. But either way, check him out, EB Comics. If you are looking for that rare comic for your collection, he probably has it. He probably does. But anyway, big thank you to him. Much love. Always. Is that it? I can pretty much end the show there. Who's joining us today? Where is this? There we go, guys. Sorry, I have to move my chat around here. All my windows are all moved around. I was goofing around with stuff. Anyway. Evan Belleau, what's up, everybody? James and Kent, afternoon, Kris. Afternoon, everyone. Afternoon. Aaron Siege, howdy, Kris and Monkey Brethren. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday indeed. The sun is shining. My curtains are closed here, but because that way I can control the ambient light in here. If I just left the window wide open, there'd be just tons of light coming in, and it would just look a mess. A mess. And, yeah, so it's a happy Saturday. You know what? I didn't even look. What is going on the GW side of things? Usually at the early in the show, we have a look, a deep dive, if you will, into what is going on. Oh, there's a pre-order. Oh, it's already sold out. Liber Xenologus. Zenlogis? I don't know. Apparently, it's a book, and it's sold out. Whatever it was. I would assume this is a Black Library thing. Can I click it? What is it? Oh, from the Blackstone Fortress. Oh. It's like a source book, I guess. Cool. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's got some art. It's got some writings. It's got the writings in it. Whatever that is. Was there anything since last week? Not really. A lot of books. Jeez, a lot of books, a lot of cards. The Hedonites, some dice, some pins. Uriel Ventress. Oi, jeepers. New follower. Right there. I'll put my hand right there. What is it? Catnox Unleashed? Welcome, Catnox. Thank you for the follow. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just looking at some of these Hedonites. They're pretty damn cool. Not so cool that I'm going to go rush out and buy a bunch. But... Oi, Fritz. That scared the crap out of me. Thank you, D51200, for the follow. For the follow. Sorry, I'll have it right here. Here we go. Hanging up. Oh. I guess I shouldn't leave my hand like this too much, right? Because then somebody will take it and Photoshop it. There we go. Now everybody's going to be rushing out for their Photoshop. Says, hey! I can Photoshop something funny here. Lord Krabby, sup party peeps? Sup? Dr. Xantos, hello Monkey Lord. How be things? How be things? Is it talking like a pirate today? Arr, how be things? Things are going well. You know, as well as they can be. I mean, amidst this whole worldwide pandemic situation that we find ourselves in. So we find ourselves trapped indoors. But thankfully, there is looking like some light at the end of the tunnel, finally. And yeah, hopefully. Summer. I'm hoping. I don't want to get my hopes up too much. But I'm hoping this summer we can go back to doing things. I mean, I'm kind of an indoor kind of guy anyway. You know, just the nature of my work and, you know, things of that. And I'm usually indoors anyway. So, but I do miss going to the bar and just having a drink, sitting on the patio, conversing and, you know, just doing stuff. Just going out, you know, if I feel like going for a ride and go with this or that, check out this restaurant, check out this bar, whatever, right? I mean, I miss those things. It's been a while since I've done them, so, you know, yeah. Sakura Densha, hello, Criseno, hello. Dark Commission, hey, Chris and Monkeys, hi, Dark Commission. James and Kent missed a few live shows, but here to kick bubblegum and chew. No, wait. To kick bubblegum and chew ass. Chew ass. Would you buy bubblegum that was named Chew Ass? I think I would. Come to think of it. So I'm chewing a whole wad of ass right here. Brandon Taylor made it. Welcome, Brandon. B-Man. Aaron Seach. Isn't that going to be Dark Eldar Saturday? Isn't that going to be Dark Eldar Saturday? Is it? Is it? I don't know. Sergeant Jack Rum. Next week is Dark Eldar. Next week is Dark Eldar, is it? Really? Dark Eldar. Dark Eldar getting updates? Or they're just getting a new book with maybe some sort of new thing, I guess? I honestly don't know. Has there been previews of this crap? Oh, I know, yeah, they made the whole announcement about the animations, the Exodite. I was really looking forward to the Exodite. I thought it was a really different take on the whole Tau thing. And then when they showed the preview, and it seemed like the art style of Exodite changed. Because it kind of had a bit more of a cinematic feel. Whereas what they showed in the preview feels a bit more... I don't want to say, you know, like kind of standard computer generated kind of stuff. It feels a little bit more Pixar. Like the Tau looks a little like if Pixar was to make a 40K type of film, that's the art style I get from how that Tau looks. Versus what they were showing before. It had a much grittier, contrastier, cinematic type of vibe to it, which I really dug. And I was really looking forward to it. And I liked how they incorporated the Tau language and made it sound like a legit kind of language. It sounds a bit like Klingon, but it was pretty darn cool. I was, you know, really looking forward to that. And then, of course, Astartes. I mean, yeah, Astartes. I mean, everybody's I mean, you don't even have to be a fan of 40K. I mean, the Astartes is just fantastic work. And hopefully, you know, they're kicking some money his way to all these developers to create this stuff. Because, yeah. Yeah, I don't see... Oh. I see a Drukhari thing, but nothing, no hints as far as, like, you know, any kind of thing new. So, but Drukhari are getting a thingy next week. Interesting, kind of. I mean, I'm not terribly excited about it, but you know, I mean, I'm a Eldar snob, so apparently I'm, you know. James Kent, just waiting for Curse City release announcement. Those miniatures look amazing. They do look amazing. Curse City. The thing is, though, is if I get Curse City, I'll never get to play a game for a long time unless I like do months and months of just painting, you know, Curse City. Yeah, because I'd have to make a few videos on it, you know, and just, yeah, you know, it would be like months and months, and I'm sure everybody would be really tired of that if that were the case, right? Now, yes, I could sprinkle in other projects, some 40K stuff and other things like that in the mix as well, but then, like, whatever, like, because see, the thing is that normally Kris does not work on miniatures in his off time. When I'm painting miniatures for video or live streaming, that's it. That's as much painting as I usually do. I don't paint in my off hours. I'm into other stuff when I'm in my free time. Because again, miniature painting is no longer a hobby for me, right? And anybody who does this, trying to make an actual living at this, you know, commission painter or, you know, streamer or, you know, creating, you know, online content for YouTube and other platforms, right? Once it becomes like you are, you know, making an actual living at this, yeah, it's not your hobby anymore. It's not a hobby. It's your job. So, and things change. Things change. Things that you actually loved about this stuff changes. And after a while, especially if you're entering this for the wrong reasons. We've talked about this a few times in recent weeks and months about, you know, when we're painting, even anybody who's just painting for, you know, for the hobby, for the love of it, you have to ask yourself, who are you painting for? Are you painting for you? Are you painting for likes? Are you painting to impress people, right? Like, who are you painting for? Because if you're doing anything other than for yourself, you're more than likely not going to stick with this, right? You're just unlikely to, because, you know, it's kind of like when you see, you know, people who have won, you know, awards for miniature painting, Golden Demons, Crystal Brush, all these things, right? Well, after they've won it, a lot of them just fall off the map, right? I mean, they just, okay, won their award and that's it. Now, yeah, there's some that, you know, continue to win, you know, multiple awards and enter multiple years. But a lot of times, you see that kind of like the multiple winnings. It's often within the same year, I notice. So it's like they took 1 year, they took 1 year to prepare, and then another year to go around and go to competitions and then, you know, place and stuff like that. But then after that, they just kind of fall off the map, you know? And I'm not sure what that is. Is that like painting for competition? Like if your aspirations are to paint for competition, what is it? What's after that? You have to ask yourself, okay, once you win, which you invariably, sure, if you're willing to put in the effort to get really, really talented and good and proficient in your painting, what after that? Right? What's the goal after that? Cat Knox Unleashed. Cat Knox? Catan Knox? Hello, loved your Sigval. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I could have easily spent a lot more time on it, but I was way behind on that project, and yeah, but you know, I also forego doing some stuff that I was initially, when I saw the model, I was like, oh yeah, I'll do this and do this. I was going to use like chrome paint on them and everything, but I had done that already with the Satan dude, or wherever he is in the view. Yeah, the Satan dude. I had already used chrome on him, and I didn't want to, you know, I don't like to repeat myself too often. I know, well, I don't like to repeat myself at all. But I know invariably in this kind of format and everything that I'm going to repeat myself. So, you know, I just live with it, deal with it, and move forward. Try to, anyway. Sorry, I'm getting freaking hiccups now. Arturo Patet, oh my dogness. Oh my dogness. I'm here, what a day to be online, and what a great mustache, mister. I live in envy of that facial manliness. Thank you. I often don't equate facial hair with manliness. I don't. I'm not of that mindset that facial hair, in my way of thinking, it looks rather beastly. Yeah. I'm sorry to say. I see it a bit more cavemanish, primitive, savage, you know. So, yeah. Evan Belleau, Kris, now you've done it. Photoshop antics ensue. I know, and I'm sure there's a few of you out there, sick buggers, or just, that was your golden opportunity. If you don't know what I'm talking about, too bad. Kevin Cabal, hello, happening hobbyists. Hello, Kevin Cabal. Cabal? That's kind of like my first and last name. Cabal. Cabal? Anyway. Lord Krabby, every day is a good day for CBD. Yes, I agree. Since I've switched over to edibles, I find that I'm everyday kind of usage now. 8 o'clock is usually when I take my dose, and then usually around by like 10 o'clock, I'm in full mode, and yeah, I'm done. I'm useless to anybody, really. At that point, sometimes when I'm doing kind of late night streaming, I'll take my brownie right before, and then I have to stop because I'm like, yeah, I'm useless. Cat Knox Unleashed. Dark Eldar are getting a new battle box against Sisters. Really? Didn't that already come out? Wasn't there Lilith and the sister battle? Canassus or something? Something like that? But anyway, yeah. James Kent, not sure about chew-ass bubblegum, but in Denmark there's a range of sweets called spunk. I don't know if they have it over there. I'm sure they do. It is yogurt in a tube. Kind of like, like a packet of ketchup or something, or mustard, you know what I mean? It says a little packet, but it's a larger tube. Yeah, I know. And you squeeze it and you get the yogurt out, right? So they sell that, and it's geared towards kids. Now, sure, kids are just like, yeah, we're kids, and squirt this, yogurt into your mouth, and all is good. Nobody's gonna bat an eye at that, right? Because they're kids, but as you get older, you wonder, right? You kind of like, I don't know. I just I don't like my yogurt too cold. I kind of like it a bit warm, fresh from the tap, as it were. So yeah, a sweet called spunk. Yeah, now mind you, I mean, there is that association with it, but I can recall, like the word spunk meaning, spunky, right? So it's a sweet, so the sugars get you jacked up, and you just go off and full of spunk, right? You're like wired for sound. But as you get older and a little bit more perverted, I suppose, spunk takes on another meaning, and Yeah, so you're like, yeah, I'm just sitting over here with my pal eating spunk. He's got a bag. He's got a sack full of spunk. I'm helping him out with it. I'm going to help him out with it. Oh, man. Yeah, I know. You got to be kind of twisted to kind of make that association, right? I mean, especially sitting there just plopping one in your mouth. I'm having some nice warm spunk with my good friend, Chad. I don't know what's with the voice, but anyway. Sir Peanut Butter, morning, Kris and Peeps, morning. Greenleaf Terrain, do you even lift, bro? Bro, do I lift? Once you win, the Matrix unlocks. Neo says, you have been sleeping too long. Yeah, pretty much. Old man Logan. Logan? Logan? Logan. I'm going to say Logan from now on. Hello, Grizz and Monkeys. I heard we were talking about Fight Club. No, we're not talking about Fight Club. You don't talk about Fight Club. Jeez. God damn it, man. Everybody knows you don't talk about Fight Club. The first rule. You don't talk about Fight Club. Aaron Seach. Nothing says good morning like a hot cup of coffee and a wake and bake. What's a wake and bake? I don't know what a wake and bake is. You're going to have to explain that one to me, Aaron, because I don't know what a wake and bake is. What's wake and bake? I'm sure hot cup of coffee and a wake and a bake and bake. Yeah, I don't know what a wake and bake is. Aaron, I think you're hanging out in some really weird circles. A wake and bake. I don't know what that is. Immediately, my brain's jumping to something, obviously, sexual. Because that's usually the first place I go. But, I'm a pervert, so. Night Warden Gaming. Pity and Pain, it goes on pre-order next Saturday. Really? Pity, or Piety. Fuck, I can't read. Hey, nobody comes here to listen to me read. Oh, wait. Yeah, we got a whole bunch of segments on reading. Piety and Pain. Wasn't that the name of the last thing? Piety and Pain? Or am I just cracked? Well, I'm probably cracked, but yeah. Like, am I crazy? Where is that Dark Eldar box? Ugh. That site's gonna make me search around for this stuff here. Drew Kari. Where's the box? Where's the box? Where's the box? Where's the box? I don't see the box. I don't see the box. Where's that box? Yeah. Maybe it's in the Sisters. Maybe it's in the Sisters of Battle. Adeptus Hiortis. No, I was just on here the other day because I was looking at some sister stuff because may do a collab with another streamer, and so yeah. No, I don't see that box with the. Or did that ever get released? The one with Lilith. Did that not get released? Have I done too many drugs? Am I an idiot? I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Where the hell am I? James Kent, one of the spunk sweets is salted licorice. It is worth buying, so when you give a sweet, they can complain about how salty your spunk is. I want to go to Denmark. Yeah, I think it'd be fun. I'd love to head back over to Europe. Just to check things out. Yeah, be fun. How salty your spunk is. Old Man Logan, wake and smoke a bowl. Come on, Kris. Wake and bake. See, I thought it was something dirty. But no, it's just smoking a bowl as soon as you get. Oh, I can't, man. I can't even get up. I mean, in my younger days, I used to be in a real bad habit of that. But no, I can't get up and just sleep immediately like light. No, those days are behind me, man. The older I get, the more like an old car I get. It just takes longer and longer to kind of get the motor started and get running, warmed up, kick the tires, get moving. You know, it's just getting old sucks. Lord Grabby, I fight Gandhi. LOL, best line. You fight Gandhi? Oh, you'd want to fight. Yeah, you fight Gandhi. Right. Sergeant Jagrum. It was previewed a while ago, but got delayed. Oh, okay, so that box hasn't even come out yet. Okay, so that's probably the box coming out. Was with the sister in the dark, the dark things. Dark Eldar. There we go. Or, excuse me, Drakari. Excuse me. For everybody out there. No, it's Drakari, you dummy. Anyway, yeah, okay, so yeah, that box hasn't even come out yet. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I kind of prefer the old Lilith. I mean, the new Lilith, I'm sure is pretty darn cool. I don't know. I guess I'd like to see, the spinny twirly, because just some of the proportions look kind of funny. Yeah, and it could be the way that she's painted as well. I'm just kind of, Yeah. I don't really remember what the model kind of looks like now at the moment, but yeah. And was there a special sister character in the box? Because it's Lilith is like a named character. But is there another character in the box? I don't even know. Night Warden Gaming. It was shown a while ago in one of the reveal shows. You might be thinking of the Shadow and Pain for Age of Sigmar. No, it was Lilith and the Sister of Battle. Because it's Lilith with like some witches and like I think a venom. And it's a sister and some other sisters with the sister thing. I don't know. Sisters. With the sisters, it's all sisters. Aaron Seach, wake and bake. Wake up first thing in the morning, hot cup of coffee, and a bong, bowl, or joint, whichever your preference. Hence the term wake up, and get baked, wake and bake. Gotcha. I'm an idiot. I'm not familiar with all that. And I don't go to those kind of lengths to, extend my high. Although I have taken like, my daily dose late in the day. And I've woken up and still kind of felt it. So, yeah, I like a good old fashioned body buzz, rather than just, taking a hit off the bowl and just being stupid for an hour. I mean, okay, I'm normally pretty dumb, but then I drop down to like stupid. Dark Mission was my birthday yesterday, and it is now 39 years since I first imbibed the celestial weed. Well, happy birthday, Dark Mission. Happy birthday. And, yeah. Have a good one. I don't have any more than that other than just happy birthday. Aaron Siege. No, man, you got to get the coffee first. Oh, get a coffee. Man, man, I can barely function as it is. It's a struggle getting out of bed, going into the kitchen, starting up a pot of coffee. That's a struggle. A struggle. It is real. It is, it's arduous. It's difficult, and I don't wish it on anybody. Just getting out of bed. Arturo Patet. How old are you, Kris? 250? No, 420. No. How old am I? I'm born in 75. So I'll let you do the math. I'll let you ponder that for a bit. I'll watch the chat go quiet for a while everybody's running through their computers to figure that out. Levon Wells. The older I get, the better I was. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, I can agree with that. The older I get, the better I was. That's some wisdom there for you, man. That's some wisdom for you, really. I'd like to know, did you make that up, or is that a quote from something? Night Warden Gaming, a sister lieutenant. Oh, just a lieutenant? Hold on. They're sending a sister lieutenant against Lilith? That's the matchup? I mean, at least in the Janzar box, you know, it was Drazar, right? You know, two infamous characters in Warhammer 40,000, you know, the Phoenix Lord versus, what is Drazar? Like, what is he? Like, is he just like a champion, I guess? I don't know. But either way, you know, two heroes of equal measure, sort of. One's immortal. The other one's kind of immortal, I guess. I don't know. But either way. Then you have Lilith versus a sister lieutenant. That's kind of disrespectful, isn't it? That's kind of disrespect. That you just send a simple lieutenant out against the champion of the Dark Elder, the champion of the Hive. No, not a Hive. What is it? The Hidden City? Is that what it's called? The Dark City? Did you ever watch that one, Dark City? That was a good movie. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah. It's disrespectful because it should be equal measure champions, right? It's a box. You know, it's kind of like Fight Night, right? You have two champs, bang, they're going to head off, you know? Oh, and it's a whole thing, right? And no, you know, it's Lilith and she's killed, you know, thousands and thousands, and her skill is unmatched. Who do we pit her against? A lieutenant. A lieutenant! The disrespect. I tell you. And you know what? That's Games Workshop. We're going off on a rant now. That's Games Workshop. Disrespecting Xenos. The disrespect. I don't... No, there was no rant there. I was... Lord Krabby, to be honest, our jobs become bearable with THC and CBD. Honestly, yeah. I remember I ate a brownie and it lasted 12 hours. It was a fun time at work. Yeah. I've really become a connoisseur. Connoisseur is probably not the right word, but I actually prefer the edibles rather than smoking. Because I know, bad Kris, but I already have a smoking habit. And so when I'm smoking weed, man, it just makes me feel like I'm completely out of breath kind of thing. It's just like, and of course you get, you know, no. Edibles, all you do is just take that weed, grind that up, chuck it in, and whatever you're going to eat, and then, you know, there you go. And, yeah, and you're getting it all. And you can also argue you're getting your dose of fiber as well, right? Because you're eating all the plant matter, and, you know, so... it's good for you, and it's good for you. Despite whatever sugary treat you're putting it in, because, you know, I don't know. Would you eat a legit weed salad? You know, cannabis salad? Like, you know, even if it, like, I realize you couldn't eat, like, a whole plant. Well, you could. Fucked out of your gourd, but, you know, you throw some, like, romaine lettuce and a little bit of salad dressing, and, you know, you have weed in there, and, you know, maybe some, you know, chopped tomatoes, and maybe a mushroom here and there. Just a simple vinaigrette dressing. Now I'm actually making myself hungry. Thinking about that. Actually sounds like it might be a really good salad. I don't know. Anyway. Dave Battaglia. There he is. Kris, you ever do iced coffee? So tasty. Yes, but oftentimes with iced coffee, they add a lot of sugar to it, or creamers, or anything like that. And old Kris has to watch out for that stuff, because I can't consume too much, because otherwise I'll put myself in a coma, you know. Yeah. But yeah, iced coffee. Yeah, I mean, I have iced coffee every Saturday, because by the time I'm done, I'm never done talking. This gets cold, and you know, yeah. Oh yeah, this was one of my gifts for Christmas this year. It was a new coffee mug. So anybody might notice that my coffee mug changed, because I had a red one that I drank all the time. But yeah, I have this one. It was a 2 set. But yeah, it's a Darth Vader head. I am your father. And then the other one is something. And it's a smaller mug. It's kind of more like a, I don't know, not an espresso. I think it's probably more like the teacup. Not teacup, but I don't know. But anyway, it's fun. It's fun. Fun is fun. And this is fun. Anyway. Where am I? Arturo, 75? AC or BC? Dave Patelli. Ran out of fingers and toes to arithmetic Chris's age, but he's 10 years younger than me. There we go. Lord Krabby, someone soundbite the 420 part. Sergeant Jack Rum, is he not a fallen phoenix? Well, that's the rumor, right? Drazar being the fallen phoenix. Because that technically, I guess, as the lore goes, Drazar would have been he would have been before Kandros, right? Because he would have been like the striking scorpion phoenix. At least that's the way it always was rumored back in the day. I don't know if they've confirmed or retconned or what have you, but yeah. Drazar was like basically he was the first striking scorpion Phoenix Lord, but then turned or fell, whatever you want to call it. It's not like he went to Chaos, because if he was Chaos, he wouldn't be in the Webway, right? He wouldn't be hiding in the realm of the Dark Eldar. So I don't know. He's just evil. Dark Commission. People born in 66, especially those with red hair, are gods and are to be worshipped. Proven scientific fact. Is it? I'm afraid I'm going to need to see the math on that one. Night Warden Gaming. I'm getting a copy, adding a Drukhari to my collection, and sister is going to start my daughter's first army. Cool. That's cool. Yeah. Is she going to play Drukhari or sisters? I mean, I wouldn't push either one at her. I would, let her decide. Maybe she doesn't want to play either. Maybe she wants to play, I don't know, squats. She wants to play squats. If she wants to play squats, then by doggone it, get her squats. Lord Krabby, it probably tastes awful, but your day'd be awesome. Problem is making you eat carbs, LOL, it defeats the salad. True. Right, but I mean, like, throwing weed into, my edibles and stuff, like, yeah. Just, try not to, incorporate too much, because otherwise it'd be tripping balls for, a long time. And it's usually, for me, I mean, like, I just take it at the end of the day kind of thing, just to, even out, so to speak. But yeah, it lasts while. Months. It's been months. I pretty much take a dose every evening. And down it goes. Down the hatch. Down the gullet. And yeah. It's been working so far. I sleep really well. Like a log. What does that even mean? You sleep like a log. Do logs sleep? I don't even know. TH, I recently started growing my own magic mushrooms. Ooh. It's a nice little gardening thing during the pandemic. Fun on a Friday night, and microdosing against depression seems really promising. Yeah, I've been curious about the whole microdosing thing. I'm not sure, I've just been curious about it. I'll just leave it at that. I've been curious about it. I've been, looking into it. I'm not really like, diehard, on a quest to, gain that information, but I am curious about it. And it's something I would like to try, over a span, like just say, month of May. I'm just going to start and just try it out for like a month and, see how she goes. And, what I mean? I mean, it's not dosing every day. At least the ones that I was seeing, it's not like an everyday thing. It's like every other couple days. And it's, just enough to, you just kind of ride this nice, wave. And, yeah. But the ones, the magic mushrooms is interesting. I was thinking more along the lines of more different. I don't want to sound like some sort of drug addict over here. So I mean, like, I'm not, because I'm not. Like I said, I only take it in the evening. I don't, and alcohol. I really don't. Other than, well, last couple of days, I killed a bottle of. Well, last week the wife came and she had a bottle of Bushmills Black, my favorite, one of my favorites, and I think I finished that bottle off like Thursday. I think I finished that off. So I didn't, back in the day, I could kill that whole bottle, in a single sitting. Feel like shit the next day, but, still could do it. Yeah. Sick as a dog, though, but, Anyway. James Kent, should there be a disclaimer about not being qualified nutritionist or some such? Slept like a log outside, covered in moss. Just wake up, just all moss. Not being qualified nutritionist. Big disclaimer, of course. Well, we can't put it there because the chat's there, so I'd have to go right about here. Not an actual nutritionist. Do not take any nutritional advice from this fool seriously and at your own peril. And of course, use that language, peril. Because then people take it seriously. We say, take it at your own peril. Risk. Risk. Everybody takes a risk. But peril. How often are you in peril? Not too often, I don't think. If you use peril all the time in your day-to-day, you might be, over-exaggerating and, blowing things out of proportion. But if your life's in peril, my God, man. Got to do something about that. Arturo, as far as I know, the cannabis needs to be dried or cooked to generate the desired effects. Yes. When you pick it and then you dry it out and stuff like that. No. I don't grow it myself. I'm not really Mr. Green Thumb. The wife's more of a green thumb than I, and she's killed just about every plant we've had. So, growing weed, I'd like to, but it seems like there's a big process, and the drying out phase, a lot of people have turned me off on the drying out phase because that's when it really becomes aromatic, and the stalks are all hanging and everything, and the smell just gets everywhere, and that kind of really does not excite me about the prospect of taking care of it myself. And then of course just growing a crap plant, and it's just poor shriveled up, just kind of I couldn't do that to the plant. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. Arturo, the THC, CBD, CBD are of a chemical reaction of the dicarbenoxylate of the substance. Is that what it is? Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a fucking chemist. All I know is you take plant, you light plant, you inhale plant, you become plant. Pretty much. Pretty much. James Kent, Bushmills. Jameson and Bushmills pretty much have been my go-to. The son, actually, he just picked up a bottle of Crown Royal. I haven't had Crown Royal in ages. Crown Royal, I remember being very good. As far as, whiskeys in my parts, in my neck of the woods, Canadian Club, I don't drink any of that. And anybody who's outside of Canada, if you've ever drank Canadian Club, I feel bad for you. And if you thought it was good, then I don't know, because for me, man, I don't know. Even drinking one glass of Canadian Club, it feels like there's razor blades in my throat. No other whiskey does that. No other hard alcohol does that to me. Canadian Club, though, you drink that and it feels like razor blades. What that is, I don't know. But it hurts. It burns. It hurts us. It hurts us. And yeah, I don't care for it. Whereas Bushmills, I can just drink that, well, not right out of the bottle. I'm pouring into a glass. What am I, heathen? And black, whew, man, black is just so smooth. It's just so good. And Jameson, another one. Just drink it straight. You know, not out of the bottle. Again, like, what am I? Some sort of wino in the parking lot? No, come on. Although, Arturo, not because I would know anything about that. So, dressing on the salad, yes. A leaf salad, not so much. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because you'd want to pick it, right? While it was still fresh, you wouldn't want it dried out. Even though the drying out phase is when, it really kind of develops its potency. And so, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I mean, would you even get stoned off of it even if the entire bowl was all the leaves? Because that's not even where a lot of the potency is, right? I mean, it's not in there, it's in the buds, right? So, eating the leaves, would it be just regular old salad? I don't know. I don't think I really want to, take the journey to grow the stuff to find out. But, yeah. Anyway. James Kent, over here, we feel that way about Jameson's. It's cooking whiskey. Yeah, but I like cooking with whiskey. Steak? Yeah, now you were talking my language, man. Just a steak. Just right on the frying pan. Salt and pepper. A little bit of whiskey here and there between flips. I'll cook with whatever whiskey. Sausage. Oh, sausage and beer. Oh, man. Yeah. Again, now I'm getting... People, making me hungry here now. Making me hungry. Aaron Siege. I may or may not have started a garden during the pandemic. Did you? Yeah, awesome. Honestly, everybody should have a garden. Just to offset, your own costs, right? And maintaining a garden also encourages your recycling, right? Because you recompost and you know what I mean? So like composting, recycling, it all becomes a good thing. Even if it's just a small little box garden, you're growing maybe just a couple carrots and some lettuce and you know what I mean? Like whatever. Or maybe it's just herbs. You're just growing just herbs. Because that also helps as well. Oi, geez Louise. New follower, The Lost Alien. The Lost Alien. There we go. Thank you for the follow, Lost Alien. Thank you. Every time that shows up, I might have to change it. Make it a little bit more tube-like. Anyway. Thank you, Lost Alien. Thank you. Jeez, where the hell am I in this chat? Oh, here we go. Killer Whale. So, folks, anybody got any advice for starting an AOS army? I think the amazing models won me over. Pick whatever faction you like, man. Don't get caught up in, oh, this army's no good and this army's really awesome. Don't get caught up into that. Pick what looks cool to you. Are you all about flying fish? Are you all about mountain goats? Are you all about flaming dragons? Are you all about, heroes riding dragons in armor? Like, there's many different flavors, right? Scary ghosts, right? Ooh, ghost. Oh, don't get caught up in the hype of, well, this is tier 1, this is tier 2, and this army doesn't do well at this point level, and blah blah. You know what I mean? Don't get caught up in that, right? Don't get caught up in that. Just pick whatever looks good to you, because they're going to be your models. You're going to spend money on them, so you can't go wrong if you just pick models that look cool to you. Just pick whatever looks cool to you and just start buying them. And if you're more concerned about getting them painted and looking good, then just pick whatever models look cool. If you are wanting to get a faction, want to play the game but have good looking models, then I would recommend you buy the book of whatever collection of models look good to you. get the book first, and then, you know, start off with like a get started box, and then maybe pick up a support thing, and you know what I mean, and start off small like that, and try. I know this is a tall ask, but try not to buy more than you can paint. I know, easier said than done, but that's how I would recommend that, you know. So, yeah. Hopefully Killer, that kind of helps. Sort of. Maybe. Killer Whale, I want to order a bacon cheeseburger today. Then do it. With weed? Have you had a bacon cheeseburger on weed? James Kent, I remember the days before this was a recipe show. Definitely old. A recipe show, eh? Is this a recipe show now? Are we talking recipes? Yeah. Aaron Siege, you haven't lived until you've had Black Angus steak cooked with Jack Daniels. Just saying. I'm not a big fan of Jack Daniels. I have, in recent years, gotten over my disdain of the taste and smell. I actually had some a while back, Jack Daniels. But for many years, since I was very young, I had a bad run with Jack Daniels. I had a bad run-in with with JD. And, yeah, so... Yeah. So it took a long time to get over that. It takes me a long time to get over things. I hold grudges for a long time. Till we're old and gray. I'm almost like a dwarf. I've got a book of grudges. Do dwarves still do the book of grudges thing? Or is that gone in Age of Sigmar? Do they still refer to the book of grudges? I don't know. Brandon, I have a 25-foot by 30-foot garden. Nice. Is it like legit plants, or are you planting legit plants? Killer Whale, I like Sylvaneth. Then get Sylvaneth. Now, if you have intentions of painting them look really nice, right? But you also want to play, but you want them to look nice on the tabletop, then I would strongly recommend, okay, if you say, yeah, I want Sylvaneth. Sylvaneth, I'm all about the tree dudes and, you know, the beetle bug and I don't know what else is there. Oh, that one monster with the honeycomb and stuff in it. That one's really cool. I like that. Whatever that is, I can't recall what the name of that thing is, but it's got like bits of honeycomb in it. That model's really kick-ass. And yeah, I would strongly recommend getting the book so that you can kind of plot out. But you can't, like, you don't really go wrong. Like, here, let me have a look here. Egg of Sigmar. You know what? Let's jump over to this window here. You know what? Just for giggles' sake. For giggles. What are they? Order? And they are... I seen Seraphon. I almost said strap on. Anyway. Strap on. Okay, so I would strongly recommend, get started box. Get the Codex or the Army book and the get started box, because it gives you a little character, gives you some units of dudes, and gives you a big monster duder. And I would start with that. Yeah. But I definitely would recommend getting the book and getting a get started box. And you're already in for 160. Well, it's Canadian, so I don't know what it'd be in European dollars. You know what I mean. Yeah, this monster here. What is this called? A Drycha Hamadreth? Jeez, that's a mouthful. Yeah, I like this one. I don't know, something about this monster just speaks to me. I like the honeycomb. I like it's got little bees and stuff kind of flying out of it. I like the visual contrast of, you know, like the wood, and then of course you have the smooth form of this female elf monster thing inside of it. It kind of has this Medusa thing going on with the branches coming off the head. I dig it. And of course it's got these crazy wild ass pube thing going on. Like its pubes are going to kill you. They're thorny pubes. There's a metaphor here, I'm sure. I'm sure. It's a female form with honey and thorny pubes. You can draw your own conclusions. So, yeah. I mean, Sylvaneth got tons of fun stuff. Even the little trees, yeah. Because you can buy those trees and they actually do shit for you, right? It's like you can summon them or some crap or move them around on the table. And, yeah. Oh, you can't get these tree lords anymore? Aww. the Spirit of Durthu, Tree Lord Ancient, and a Tree Lord. I had an idea a while back when this model first came out of converting it into an avatar. But I think other people have done that by now. Just because I really dug this sword that he holds. Because like this pose reminded me of the avatar. And he's got the big, glowy face and everything like that. That I thought he'd make a good conversion for, an avatar. I mean, if you were to really spend some time, do it right, he'd make a really fantastic, avatar of the Exodites. Because I imagine Exodites being kind of like wood elves, right? And yeah, this guy being like an avatar of the wood elves, the Exodites. It'd just be cool. It's just a fun idea. So it was something that I toyed around with a while back. And now, mind you, I mean, it's converting that, but make it look more 40k Eldar. So he would have like the big, weather veins on his head, and he'd have to have the big plume of hair. Like he'd have to have all the things that make it look very familiar as an avatar, but definitely the combination of, looking like a big ancient tree person thing, whatever. But yeah, but that's just me. Holy crap, where am I? No idea. Derek Luteris. Hey guys. Hey. Without real inspiration, it's impossible to put in the work to complete an army. Yes, definitely. James Kent. Sylvaneth are easy to paint, but a serious pain to clean the models up. Don't buy more than you can paint, because nobody has done that. Nobody. Yeah, I know. I mean, I can sit here and spout off, useless information and advice all day long, but eventually somebody will live up to the advice and go, no, I don't buy more than I can paint, and I'm on a very strict paint and play kind of mentality. In my early days, yeah, we used to maintain that pretty good. We still buy stuff, but we wouldn't open it, you know what I mean? And because we only played with, at the early days, Rogue Trader, we were painting and playing with it, right? Then once around second edition rolled around, yeah, then that went flying out the window. People were playing with unpainted armies out there and stuff, and yeah, it's like it was the end. It was the end. We saw it as the end. It was like, oh my god, it's the end. It's the end of this game. Meanwhile, it just became even more popular. So, when people go on and on about doom and gloom type stuff, it's unlikely. Lord Krabby kind of wants some White Castle now after all this weed talk. We don't have White Castle in Canada. I don't think, anyway. And I've tried White Castle before, and I don't know what the fascination is with it, but all right. Aaron Siege. Cooking with Jack Daniels and drinking it are two completely different things. Yes. No, I drank it. I drank Jack Daniels. I had it. I had a drink. This was like bar shots or whatever. We were sitting around doing bar shots and I was drinking Jack Daniels. And I was like, It had been a long time before that, though. Long time. I'm an old man, and it was when I was a young man. Like, before there was even a 2 in my... No. It was before I was even... out of the teens. There we go. That's how we go. So yeah. Anyway. Brandon Taylor, just fruits and veggies. Oh, okay. No weed. On weed. Killer Whale. Local game store has a starter box of them, but I want to maybe paint more of my AdMech beforehand. Yeah, do it. But I think it's a good idea to add a variance, definitely. I'll paint the Attack Trees, Noble Bright, and AdMech Grimdark. There we go. Yeah. That way, yes, that's an excellent idea, because that way you're keeping yourself interested in what you're working on, because you're playing with one particular style one direction, and then you're going another style and completely different models, and yeah, both are different experiences, so it keeps you kind of invigorated, as it were. But yeah, no, it's a good idea. Brandon Taylor. Remember playing against my half-built Noise Marines? Just a set of legs on the base? I don't remember just a set of legs on the base. But I remember, by the time we were all... Because, when we used to play lots was back in 3rd edition. And Yeah, I remember we played with unpainted stuff all the time. I know. But back in my Rogue Trader days, no, we were absolute fascists about that. No, it's got to be painted. It's got to be painted before you can play it. It's got to be painted fully. Details, bases finished, painted. Then second edition rolls around and it's like, I got all these Marines. It's like, oh my god. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Second edition. Basically, second edition 40k ruined Warhammer 40k. Killer Whale. I remember playing against Tyranids where Carnifex was Godzilla figurine. Yeah. Lord Krabby. That's why I gave away most of my armies. Focus on just Nurgle for 40k and Age of Sigmar. Ultra for fun games and Dark Angels for competitive. Dark Angels are competitive? Yeah. Interesting. I don't really follow the competitive type stuff, so. Brandon Taylor. Only play with fully painted miniatures now. Bravo. Yeah, I guess I mostly do as well, I suppose, because you're playing on camera and stuff like that, and so you want it to look good, right? So, yeah. Alrighty. We're caught up with comments. Sweet. Dr. Santos, I have returned. Had to bug out because of fire alarm in the building. Jeez. Are you at home or are you at work? Are you watching this while at work? Should be working, dude. Alrighty, we're going to jump over to a segment that I've been trying to keep up on, which is kind of going through Instagram, going through the hashtag Way of the Brush. So, if you want me to have a look at your Instagram, because maybe you don't feel like sending me an email, you don't feel like, posting your pics and what have you, but you like sharing and, so we'll have a look at the pretty pictures. And so, yeah, so use the hashtag Way of the Brush. Oh, wait, it just hit my thing. Oh, Way of the Brush. Use the hashtag and I'll see it. Of course, you also see some other stuff because some other people out there are using Way of the Brush. And it's not miniature related. It's more, traditional brush, like calligraphy. So there is that. Don't be surprised if you're using that and, and it's like, what? So anyway, where are we here? Let me make sure I'm on the right window. Yes. So here we go. Space Marines. Arturo Patet. Oh, okay. Here we go. And Arturo's here today. Excellent. Well, I gave it a like. Little heart. I don't read. I'm going to assume that's Spanish. Is it? Italian? Anyway. I'm terrible with that. I like the weathering. I like it. I think there could be a little bit more contrast in his flesh. Although it is kind of hard because the whole model is like really bright white. I like the weathering. I like the base. I like the cracks in that shield on his shoulder. I like that. That's cool. Yeah, looks good. My only suggestion is I would probably try to bring that flesh up a little bit more next time. But that's about it. I love the barrels are drilled out. Love it. Love it. So really nice work, Arturo. And yeah, continue to do that. Oh, look at this. This is from Alex7. Last post of the day, I forgot to upload all these, putting into practice what I've learned playing with fluorescent and color shifting paints. Yeah, I really dig the transitions going on here. I like the green glow. I like the whole use of color. Yeah, it's fluorescence and color shifting paints. So like on the main body, like on the limbs, is that just a regular silver? And then like on the carapace and the legs, that's the color shifting paint. Is it a color shift on the blades? I'm going to assume it is. Oh, let's give it a like first before we forget. There we go. Yeah, I like the color scheme. I like your use of the color shift on like the carapace. What color shifts did you use? Is it like Vallejo or Green Stuff World or Turbo Dork? I kind of like to know what colors are there, just so I have an idea of like how it should react, because I've played a lot with these color shift paints, and so if you told me the name of it, I kind of know what I'm actually like if I was looking at this in person, because I know like photographing this to get those color shifts to work like visually. The purple on the upper carapace, it almost looks like a galaxy. Now I'm sure that's probably just the flakes in the metallics giving that kind of sparkly look, but I dig it. I like it. I like color scheme. I like that with that bright silver and just the touches of the color shifts, and then of course those green elements, the small green elements. I really like that. Anything I would change or really kind of comment on? Not really. I mean, there's the obvious points. Just being mindful of your application, stuff like that, and how heavy it is, but that's minor. I like the color scheme. I like it. I think it's a pretty darn good balance of like intensity of colors, and I'm sure in person this is really intense, because I'm sure that green because it's a yellow green that you're using, and that plays really nicely with deep purple. And yeah, no, I dig it. I don't know if it was necessary to try and OSL the orbs and the eyes. I don't know if that was necessary. I honestly don't think it is, because when you're playing with fluorescence, just let fluorescent paint do what it does. Just let it do what it does, right? It's just like the color shifts. The color shifts, you slap it onto the surface, you do a minimal amount of highlighting and shading, very minimally, and you allow the majority of that paint to do its thing, But yeah, I dig it. Really nice work, Alex. Really nice stuff. Oh, another one from Alex. Oh, look at this. Let's give it a like. It's a Deathwatch Duder. I like the highlighting on his armor. I like the weathering in his boots. Nice work on the sword. Nice little gradient going on there. Nice clean metals. I like that. Contrasts nicely with the black of the armor. Yeah, it's a solid paint job. Is there anything to critique here? Not really. I mean, like it's the usual stuff, right? It's finer highlights and transitions and just like the usual kind of talking points. But no, I mean the prep looks good, and the paint looks smooth. It doesn't look chunky or really heavy, and anything like that. Nothing jumps out at me like, oh, you really shouldn't be doing that, and that those kind of points. No, I don't have any of those. It's the usual. It's the usual kind of things. I mean, yeah, I see some of the old lines and stuff like that, but and especially if it's a gaming piece, no biggies. Oh, it's another Alex here. Holy camoli. I've been playing a lot with the fluorescent paints to practice glowing effects. It's been fun little side project. I'll show more of these guys off once the wife decides to play with her new camera. Oh. So we're getting the wife to play with the photos. So I take it she's the photo bug? Is that what it is? I see Rodriguez in the background. Is that the Rodriguez I painted? I love fluorescence. I it's a lot of fun just doing that, straight up metallic on them, and then putting that fluorescence on them, and it just gives them that glow. And you use that black light on them, and we're talking a lot of fun. Like how paint miniatures is fun, and your end results should always bring a smile to your face. You know what I mean? Yeah, I dig that. I dig it. I digs it. The Auditor 19, Zarbag himself, with Zarbag Gets Underworld, contrast with highlights. Did we not talk about this one already? I feel like we did. Or was that the goblin from last week? This one here, really fantastic. That's right, because I remember we were talking about how it just the way it kind of looked, it photographed, how it kind of looked like that had a slight cell shaded appearance to it. No, this is really good. I like the transitions in that little, I don't know, it's a little blinky moth thing. I like the highlighting in the cloak. The flesh looks really great. Yeah. I think a little bit more contrast in the blade. You know, if you're going for a bit more of a non-metallic metal look there, I think you could push contrast, go a little deeper, a little darker. But otherwise, I mean, it looks fantastic. Yeah. No, it looks really, really good. I like the little mushy rooms. These little goblins are just too hilarious. Yeah, it's really nice work on the cloak. I like around where the little bags hanging off his belt line. All that whole area is some really nice painting. I can see some really nice gradients. It looks like you took really care to try and work those highlights and stuff. It looks really good. The Auditor 19. Yeah. Really good stuff. Yeah, be like. Ooh, Paint Minis 1990. Working on a Rivendell Knights army for commission. Very, very cool. Nice and clean. I like your work on the gem. Typically, with that gemstone, you want to highlight in the opposite direction. You want to bring your highlights towards the bottom. Now, mind you, I mean, you may have painted that shield separately, and so then when you glued it on, you realize, oh, it's highlighted the wrong way. Unless, of course, you wanted that. No, it looks like you got the little white spots on it to represent the catch light. But anyway, yeah, typically if you're going to make it look like a gemstone, yeah, we highlight downwards. Now, mind you, if it was painted in sub-assemblies, yeah, you just have to bear that in mind when you are, obviously going to come to the final assembly for it all. The horsey looks really fantastic. Nice and clean. I like the base. Nice and middle earthy. Earthy? Is that a word? I like the highlighting on the cloak. Be mindful of relying too heavily on shade wash to provide your shadows. But, you get to that point later on as you progress. Nice colors, too. I like the colors. The nice blue darkness of the armor. Well, the contrast of the armor. And then, of course, the nice bright horsey. Yeah, it's really nice. It's good work. It's a good work. Oh. When we get to the okay, we're caught up. We're caught up. We're all caught up. Yeah, Teabag sent me that picture, so I posted that on the Instagrams. On the Instagrams, the grams of Insta. Where the hell am I in these comments? I have no idea. Fire Trick 18. Hello, Kris. I'm glad you finally got over that Eldar phase. Welcome, brother. Talking about doing the Brazen Claw Space Marine. Or Blade Guard Veteran, or whatever the hell he is. Dr. Santos. Oh, by the way, Kris, I posted a Crimson Fist Terminator bust in Discord. Cool. A fast project for the evening while drinking. Oh, cool. Posting the work in progress? Nope. Completed mini? Yep. Oh. Is that from Relic? The Terminator bust? Is that what it's from? What's it from? I don't know what it's from. Yeah, I'll give it a closer look later. Yeah. Lord Krabby, these are so expertly done. Well done, guys. I'm very impressed. Now I have itch to play 40k now. Damn it. Yeah, it's from Relic? Okay. Is that from like one of the expansions? Because I don't remember the Terminator bust in the Relic. Mind you, though, we picked up the Relic that already came with all the busts pre-painted, which is kind of nice. Even though I do paint, obviously I'm kind of like, sometimes you just want to pick up something. It's like Star Wars, right? It's like, yeah, I can paint it. I can repaint it. Do I feel like it? No, I just want to play the freaking game and enjoy myself, right? You know? I need to start getting some games in because I feel my inspiration tank running low, you know? I need to play some games. You think it was the Halls of Terror expansion? Yeah. Because, there's 2 expansions for Relic, isn't there? There's one, I can't remember the arc, but yeah. What time we got here? Holy camolies, it's already 20 after 1? Really? Really? Oh, Google, you did it to me again. Hold on, I gotta input my password, which is no. I think it's this. Nope, it wasn't that. Maybe it's this. Nope. How about this? Nope. How about this? Nope. It's got to be this then. Nope. I better give this a break before it tries to clunk me out here. How about this? Nope. Okay. It's definitely this. Nope. It's this. Aha! Success. Oh, shit. You know what? Let's jump over. Let's do some emails since I finally just relogged back into my email. It kicked me out for some reason. Google, for whatever reason, says, here, I'll just save it. And then sometimes it goes, oh, no, don't. No. You got to put your information back in. So anyway, yeah. Jason Kent, episode 337. Come watch a man forgetting passwords. Man, that's all the time. Now, you may or may not have noticed how long my passwords are. So, I'm a firm believer in having really strong passwords. I'm a firm believer. Oh, it's firm. Anyway, yeah, so firm believer in strong passwords. Reziel, I'm late. Like, you're late? Like, that time of month, you're late? A little unplanned. All right, we're going to do an email. So, if you're wearing headphones, turn it up or down. Up or down. Whichever way. This might be a new dance. There we go. New dance for y'all. Anyway, turn it up or down because here it comes. Let's do this one. Email time. Email time. This one's real fast. This is just because Teabag, he had sent me the Tyler. Oops, switch this one. There we go. He'd sent the email. Because I think last week we were talking about, I don't know, take a picture like with me in the screen kind of thing. So he did. He sent me an email. That's Buddy Tyler. Tylor. Otherwise known as Slapdash Minis. For anybody. You've probably seen him. If you go to the Monkey Shrine, you'll see some pictures of him. I think a couple times he came to visit me while I was still working for Mini Wargaming, and he was hanging out with me. If he ever comes for a visit, I'm sure we'll do the sit-in kind of thing. I have an idea to actually have kind of a space and a setup for having guests. So I have considered that kind of thing when anybody comes to visit, kind of thing. This one's from our good buddy Scott. Hey man, during the Get Shit Done stream the other night, I painted the little red dude from start to finish, about 2 hours 15 minutes total, which is awesome for me. So shout out to me. You did it, bro. So he's patting himself on the back now. He's pretty pleased with himself. During the week, I finished up this Goliath guy. Still trying to work out dark skin. Thought I'd try my pretty tried and true German World War II weird yellow stuff on the armor. I think I did it. This dude will probably see action in Stargrave when the game drops. Fire away any thoughts, crits, or just heaps mountains of praise and respect on my name. Either way you want to go. Have a good one. And so, yeah, we kind of talked briefly about this model when, I think, because I was making the comments, the thing that's holding his model, I was like, Jesus, is that like from Aliens? Like, it's alien resin? Does he have xenomorphs running around his house? Anyway, so yeah, he had painted this model up the last stream of getting projects done, and he was sitting in while we're talking, and yeah, and that he's taken this as far as he wants to go. So any thoughts? It looks fantastic. I love the red. I like the little glint to highlight in the visor. I like the color scheme. He's doing this just for, like a tabletop standard. So he's not really pushing, the envelope, as it were, super refined highlights or anything like that. I mean, he's gone as far as he wants to go, and it looks fantastic. And that's really a big one for a lot of, painters who like to paint and enjoy painting, but also like to game every once in a while. And it is a hard line to walk when you want to have really good looking models, but you also really enjoy gaming. It's knowing when to stop. That's a really hard one, and that's kind of I like that. That's kind of a hard one to kind of, I don't know, like teach. Like knowing when to stop, right? And knowing how far to take a model, as far as, how far you want to paint it, right? Like this paint job here, it's fantastic. I really enjoy the weathering on the armor, and I like that almost yellowy green hue to the armor. Like it looks like it's white. Like, you know what it looks like? It looks like white under a fluorescent light. If you ever see that in models, like in movies, like in horror films, you have like a white surface and it's like that flickering fluorescent light. That's what that looks like to me, at least in this picture anyway. Yeah, it looks fantastic. I'm going to assume this is done for gaming. You just want to do good paint job on it, right? The black of the skin, like the dark tone of it, looks fine. It doesn't jump out at me like there's anything off about it, other than up by his like collar, like where his collarbone is and everything. I assume that's supposed to be flesh there, so I would have probably added a bit more highlight to it because it feels kind of neglected. But I mean, as far as color usage and getting to that tone, I think maybe it gets a little bit too light up on his forehead. But like on the shoulder there, that looks really good. I like the metal. Metal looks really nice. See, from the back here, the flesh looks really darn good. I like the the highlighting in the flesh. And yeah, you see how like you went, like you're pushing it like closest to the armor. That feels about the right level, especially if his skin is, you know, really dark, you know. Whereas if we go back to the face, it feels a little bit too bright coming towards his eyebrow. It feels a little too bright. It feels like there's too much highlight there. Whereas everywhere else you've gone very minimally, which I think is the right call. And I guess down by his left arm's elbow, it also feels like there should be a little bit more highlight there, because you got it on the right side, but you don't have it on the left side. But you know, I mean, these are minor things. I seriously doubt you're going to come back and touch them up. So we just call it done, right? But yeah. See, like the highlighting on his forehead up on this part is spot on. Or is it because you're doing the lighting off to the side? Is that what it is? You're doing like lighting off to one angle, kind of going for like that Rembrandt light. Is that what you're doing? I'm going to guess that's what you're... I don't even know. Scott, are you here today? No, I don't think Scott's here today. Yeah. But very cool. Thank you, Scott, for sending that in. Awesome stuff. Awesome. Next email is from Phoenix. Concerned about the Rotigus tutorial colors. Hi, Chris. I started following your quick tips for Rotigus and am first collecting the colors you are using. Of course, it shouldn't be a science but an art, but using the right colors is something I find difficult. So I'm usually stealing them from YouTube/the internet, the interwebs. You use, why does that always sound weird to me? You use golden transparent amber hue at a certain moment, and I can't find that paint anywhere. It looks like has been discontinued. Could you propose another color that I could use for about the same effect? I bought golden umber hue. Perhaps some medium I should mix in with? Thanks in advance, Phoenix. And so he's got a screenshot here of the thingamabob. So yeah, he's talking about this when I was painting Rotigus. I don't recall if I airbrushed it or if I washed it in. But anyway, yeah, raw umber hue. It's from Golden. It's a transparency, as you can see by the color swatch they always do on their labels. They take like an actual bit of the paint and throw it in there. And so yeah, anybody who was curious about how I did Rotigus, yeah, you can find those over on the Mini Wargaming side of things. And yeah, you know what? Let's see here. Let me do a quick search here. Because I know with Golden, they had their airbrush line, and then they switched over. They had the airbrush paints, and that's where these bigger bottles come from. Like you can probably see over here. I'm not going to bother reaching for it, but then they switched over to their high flow line, which are these slightly smaller bottles. They're about the same. It's their Golden airbrush, or is it airbrush? Can't remember. I'm gonna reach for them now. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, they have like a shading gray, and it was their airbrush colors, and then their airbrush color line changed over to their Golden high flow line, and they came smaller bottles. I don't think high flow comes in bigger bottles like this, but like the airbrush colors were like these bigger. What are these, 4 ounces? Yeah, these are 4 fluid ounces versus 1 fluid ounce, right? So yeah, and they had made the switch over, so it's Golden high flow that you'll find those colors. And raw umber hue, I thought there was a raw umber hue in high flow. Brown iron oxide. No, it's not quite. Because I have a shading gray here in the high flow, and that's the same as the other shading gray. So, burnt sienna. I have the website up. I should probably just look at the frickin' website, but yeah, I thought there was. Oh, I got so many of these damn colors. I really enjoy Golden High Flow. I find the paint really good. It does finish glossy. I used entirely Golden High Flow when I did Jane Czar. If you go back onto the tutorials for Jane Czar, I did a few months back for Fresh Tips. And yeah, I used entirely Golden High Flow with that. Playing with it to the extent at which I had done for that series of videos, the one thing that I would caution those is that Golden High Flow, a lot of the colors finish very glossy. So if you don't want to have a lot of that gloss, you can always add matte medium, which I use Golden's matte medium, and I just add that to the paint, and it just knocks the shine right out of it. Knocks the shit right out of it. Anyway, Golden High Flow. Am I still on the right camera? Yeah, I am. And do they have a raw umber hue in High Flow? Sepia. Oh no, they have raw umber, but the raw umber looks more grayish. But that might be just the way it looks on the site. Sepia is another one. The transparent brown iron. No, I have the transparent brown iron, I think. Yeah. And yeah, so transparent brown iron oxide is more really kind of almost looks like a snakebite leather kind of color, right? I thought, yeah. Because raw umber hue, really what it looks like, let's see, is this my raw umber hue? Yeah. So raw umber hue, realistically, this kind of color, if you don't want to go with golden, and look for this particular bottle, really Agrax Earthshade, the value of Agrax Earthshade is very, very close to this. The only reason I was using this at the time, I think, is because I was using the airbrush and I didn't feel like using up a whole bunch of Agrax Earthshade, because by comparison, I mean, this is 4 fluid ounces. This was like not even $10. And as opposed to Agrax Earthshade, which is, well, now the bottles are Agrax Earthshade. What is Agrax Earthshade? It is 0.4 fluid ounces for this size of bottle, which is what? Damn near $10 now, I think, isn't it? Yeah. I think this is damn near $10 for this bottle. And when I bought this was, I think, damn near $10. So, just saying. But anyway, yeah. The values of the colors, it's raw umber hue in transparency. Well, because it is a transparent color. It's very close to Agrax Earthshade. The golden color is probably more. It's probably a little bit more darker. Good English, right? But yeah. But for Golden High Flow, they do have raw umber, but it's not raw umber hue. And in the picture, or in this color swatch on the site, it has a slight gray value to it. And I don't want to recommend it if it's not exactly the same, right? It's raw umber hue. It does have that very gray-black look to it. And raw umber hue, kind of like Agrax Earthshade. Because Agrax Earthshade is not the same as sepia, right? Because you have Seraphim Sepia, which is a sepia tone. And I think, a bottle of sepia. And it is, because like sepia has this very dark brown quality to it, right? Whereas raw umber has a dark, but kind of has a desaturated look to it, but it's very dark. And that's kind of what you get. But yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so it would be the High Flow line, because I'm pretty sure they don't do their. Sorry, I'm on the site here now. Hold on. Let me go switch my cameras back. Where the hell is my thing? Where we go? They have their fluid line. But yeah, No, they're high because I'm pretty sure their airbrush line became the high flow line. So if you're looking for golden colors, yeah, you go with their high flow line because the fluid line, it's pretty darn close, I suppose. But it might be more, a little bit more viscous, a little thicker. High flow flows more like an ink, right? The high flow paint line flows more like an ink. Whereas I'm pretty sure their fluid line, which I don't think I have any of their fluids. I don't think it flows the same. But I mean, you could use their fluid line and add airbrush medium to it, or any of your favorite thinning mediums. Because I think they have raw umber hue in this line, don't they? Sorry, I'm having a look here. They have burnt umber and raw umber. So they do have raw umber. But I don't know if they're calling it... yeah, see, this looks pretty close here. Let me switch cameras here. Because it is pretty darn close there. You can see their color swatch there. And yeah, you can see it's really thinned out. They give you the glazes, right? So it's a 1 to 10 mix. You can see how thin it is at the very top. And then a 1 to 1 mix. It's pretty thin, straight up value. And then adding a bit of white. And then a lot of white, right? You can see the values you get. So right out of the bottle, yeah. See, right out of the bottle, which is the middle swatch, that is pretty close to what you get with raw umber hue. Whereas when you mix it with a glazing medium, you can see how it breaks it right down, thins it out. Yeah, and then that would be pretty much what you would get if you bought raw umber hue airbrush, which is their old paint line. Because yeah, they don't do their airbrush line became the high flow line, which became kind of this multi-purpose mixture of colors. It was because like their airbrush line, it flows like airbrush paint, which is like an ink, and so they just changed it to high flow. Just, I don't know, probably just because everybody uses the term airbrush, right? So they wanted to make something distinct, and so it's high flow because it's designed. The high flow paints are designed to go in markers, airbrush, paintbrush. I mean, high flow, it has it on their labels, right? That it's for everything. It's for airbrush, paintbrush, pen, and markers. Yeah. I like working with high flow. The only thing with miniature painting is that it does finish kind of glossy. So if, for me personally, filming it, I want to add matte medium just so I can see what I'm doing a bit better because all the lights I use. But for anybody at home, you don't have to add matte medium. I mean, if it helps you see your transitions a bit better, then yeah. And really, that's why a lot of painters prefer matte paint jobs or matte finishes to the paint, because it's a little easier to see under, especially when you are, working with, fine glazes and stuff like that, and you're working your transitions, you want to be able to see. And so if you have a matte finish to it, it allows you to see those transitions better. And that's often why a lot of people prefer matte finishes to the paint. But you can always work within a gloss and then matte the entire thing afterwards, right? Which is often the way I work. So yeah. Arturo Protect. Yeah, it's Spanish. Okay, Spanish. Yeah, my dear, the picture success. James Kent, that's a really nice, maybe unique color scheme for Goliaths. Yeah, with really dark skin with the bright armor. I mean, it's all about visual contrast, right? It's contrast, So if you have dark skin, brighter things look really nice, right? As opposed to going, having the dark skin, dark armor, you know what I mean? The whole model would just feel really, really dark, and that's kind of boring. You want to have that visual difference. The Lost Alien. I have limited painting experience painting. He should not dilute his paint a little more to get more smooth brush strokes. Mostly the Space Marine. The Space Marine. When we were talking about the Instagram stuff, is that what you're talking about? When we were talking about the Arturo's Space Marine, or are we talking about Alex's Death Watch Space Marine? And you were referring, he should not dilute his paint a little more to get a more smooth brush strokes. yes, he should dilute his paint when going for smoothness. When going for smoothness and thinning your paint, you can use water, but there's a tipping point when using water to thin your colors where it breaks the surface tension of the color to the point where the paint beads up and pools up or will fall within recesses, that kind of thing, depending on what kind of, especially if you're just using like tap water versus if you use medium. Now I have a few other videos on, mediums versus water. In fact, I did one recently, I think. Thinning the paints, right? Thinning your colors. I think it was a fairly recent, I think it was January I did it. Anyway, when using mediums to thin your colors, you can thin the color pretty far down to where it's very, very translucent. And you can build up very fine gradients of color through glazing. That's typically what we call that, in glazing. And using a medium will preserve the viscosity of the paint so that it flows like paint on a model surface, right? Versus water, you can thin the color down, but then there is a point where it just boop, and it loses all surface tension, and the paint, you apply it to the surface and the paint will bead up. Or you lay it down and it'll fall within a recess, right? You don't get a lot of control when you really, really break the paint down, especially if you're playing with Citadel paints, and you push it to that point where it just boop, beads right up on a surface, and it takes a lot of layers to kind of try and build up a gradient versus taking it with medium, thinning it down, and then it still acts like a paint, but you've taken it to like where the point where, a lot of light will pass through the color and you can build up really fine gradients. It also allows you to have a lot of control when the paint is really thin like that, as opposed to when you work with the paint, right? Especially like if we're talking Citadel colors, which a lot of people in this hobby work with Citadel colors. Whereas, if you listen to me for any length of time, I will tell you that as you progress as a painter, there's nothing wrong with using Citadel paints. A lot of people like to shit on Citadel paints, but that's just snobbery and gatekeeping. And it really doesn't matter. You can use whatever paints, which is what we were just talking about, golden paints, right? That's an acrylic line. They don't even do anything with miniatures. It's just paints, right? Because it is just paint. It's just paint. But when using particular paints that are designed for particular tasks, they do suit our miniature painting needs quite well. Like I said, the golden high flow paint line matches our needs quite nicely because it's a very, very fine pigment, very, very dense pigment, like dense with pigment. And so when we thin it way down, especially if we're using waters or mediums, it goes on our miniatures just fine. And you'll find any paint line pretty much does that. Any of the paints that are designed to go in pens or airbrush, stuff like that, they're usually well suited for our needs. So, you can take that and do with it as you want. Or you can continue to buy paints that are designed for miniatures. Vallejo and Vallejo does art paints as well. They're a paint company, so they have many different. They even do oils, I believe, Vallejo. So you can go anywhere. Whereas versus like Citadel, which is designed to accommodate Games Workshop models, where a vast majority of people, when we're talking about miniature painting, they're talking about Citadel miniatures. So, but there's nothing wrong with Citadel miniature paints. I mean, they work just fine. They come very thick, but I feel that has something to do with them sitting on shelves for extended periods, and then you just give them a quick shake, and the color bounces right back. Versus like Vallejo doesn't sit on shelves very well. The paint will separate, and you'll see the pigment sitting at the bottom, and you'll see the paint separation. Whereas Citadel, it takes a long time for those pigments to really kind of separate. Whereas if anybody who's played with the contrast paints, you'll see, like here, this is famous. Look at this. This is the Apothecary White, and you'll see like you'll see the medium kind of sloshing about up there. You'll see there's this mid-tone of color, and then the very bottom you'll see there's a ring of brighter pigment, right? Yeah. And I mean, like, this is a white pigment, but you see it's very dark. And another color, yeah. Ceramite white. Oh, man. Ceramite white. If it sits for a bit, yeah, you'll see the pigment. The medium is quite black in this. And I often wondered about that. Like, why does white paint have a black pigment in it? And, yeah, I found the explanation of that one pretty interesting. But, anyway, what was the question? Oh, thin. Yeah, should he not thin the paint down to get smooth brushstrokes? Yes. Working in thinned out consistency of paint will minimize your brushstrokes. But also, when you are laying the paint down in thinned out fashion like that, even with water or mediums, depends. If you're doing just a base coat, alternating your brushstroke also yields smooth results. And that is one of the things that I consider to be one of the fundamentals of good miniature painting, is laying down a nice, smooth, even base coat. And when you reach that phase in your development as a miniature painter, it unlocks a lot of other things as far as glazing and other techniques, layering and brush control and all these other facets. Once you really kind of master laying down a nice smooth base coat, it opens up doors to other realms, as it will, and you'll become much better. But yeah, it's one of the 3 fundamentals that I recommend that people follow along: smooth base coat, priming the model properly, and of course preparing the model. You know, very key. These are key aspects that, unless you master those, you'll struggle developing into other techniques, dry brushing and layering and, you know, glazing and all these other things that we want to do as we develop as a painter. But if you still struggle to clean the model properly, prime the model properly, and base coat the model properly, you know, all the other things will fail, because again, it's the foundation. It's the foundation upon which you are going to build your house, right? So yeah, that's why. Killer Whale Cheeseburger was overpriced grease bomb. Damn. But yeah, love the color scheme for the beefsteak boys. The beefsteak boys. What? Lost Alien. Sorry for poor English, but yes, that was my question. Yeah. So hopefully I answered that for you well enough. James and Kent, that's a question. Will the lockdown have affected the paints that have been sitting on store shelves for months? Oh yeah, definitely. Lockdown or not, the paint's gravity is going to have their way with everything. Gravity is a constant, ever-present force on objects, and yeah, paint will sit for any length of time. Yeah, the paint will separate, right? So yeah. The Lost Alien, thanks for your explanation. Yeah, no problem. Hopefully it helped, and hopefully hopefully it makes sense, and hopefully it dispels a bit of, not anxiety, but, things that we often struggle with. Like, there is a time and place for things. And, if you are brand new to this hobby, you see things that are glowing or look really sharp, or reflective, and all these different aspects of miniature painting where people who are a few years into this start to play with. And yeah, if you're relatively new to this, then yeah, you still have to stay within your lane. But once you get a grasp of the basics really, really well, then yeah, you can start venturing off. But not before things are time. Everything has its time and place, and as you develop as a painter and get better, you will grasp those other concepts much better if you really concentrate on mastering the beginning stuff, right? So yeah. Brandon Taylor, when should we expect your tutorial on mother paints? On mother paints? Like mummy paints? On mother paints, I don't know what we're talking about. What are we talking about? The Lost Alien, it did. Awesome. I'm glad it helped. Killer Whale. I just use multiple 4+ extremely thin paints for base coating, especially on flat surfaces like armor. Yeah, definitely. You know, whatever. Like I said, like these are just concepts to help you get a better grasp of, you know, concepts that, you know, when you start hearing people, especially people who've been painting and have a lot of experience painting, they'll use terminologies, and, you know, often some painters, they use terminologies that have like very little art background, because they might not come from an art background, so they're not familiar with these other terms, and so they make up terms, and that can serve to kind of confuse, you know, people who aren't that familiar with this stuff, and so, you know, it confuses people. Whereas people who do come from an art background, we use very common vernacular, because, you know, that's how you express these things, because painting miniatures has roots within traditional art, and it helps to have a traditional art background so that you can convey these ideas and properly. And when people make up their own terminologies, that just fucking confuses people, and it doesn't do anybody any good, because then I'm talking about a very simple concept, and somebody else is talking about the same concept, but they're using different terminologies. That just confuses people, and, you know, it doesn't do anybody any good. And some people want to, this because I made this up. Well, no, it's something that's been around for hundreds of years. Painting is not, it's not new, and anything we're doing in miniature painting, there's very little that is innovative. There's very little innovation in miniature painting. It's all been done. It's all been done. As far as I can see, it's all been done. Where the hell am I? Fire Drake. I hate gravity. It just has its way with everything. Old Man Logan. I think he's referring to mother colors. Oh, the mother colors? Expect a tutorial on mother paints? On mother color? Do we need a tutorial from me on mother colors? I don't really play within that concept very much. In fact, I mean, last episode we were talking about it. Like, I'm not that familiar with it, because it's not something that it's not a concept that I play with when I'm painting. I mean, like, you know, I mean, as far as like using it in landscape painting and stuff like that, sure, I can see the benefit, but it's not necessary. And it's not a concept that, because you know it, makes you a better painter, right? Sure, it helps within themes, but I mean, if you're not painting within a theme, that's fine. And painting, even the concept of painting within a theme, doesn't mean you're a better painter, you know? Like, I recommend, like, you know, for a painter like Scott, staying within the theme of an element, of a model, right? And, you know, treating each model like a mini diorama, right? You're playing within the theme. So would the theory of using a mother color help his painting? Sure. Is he lacking because he doesn't? No, right? So, you know, it's, again, knowing all these rules is helpful and important most of the time, but also knowing when to break these rules and when to follow them and when not to follow them is also a huge factor in your development as a painter as well. So, again, you know, it's entirely up to you. These are all a matter of preference, personal preference. They're subjective, and like many facets of art, it's all personal preference. Yeah, so it doesn't really mean shit, if we're being honest. Dr. Zanto's grandmother paint tutorial. Well, when? The grandmother color. Okay, yeah, so we have mother colors, but do we have grandmother colors? That's the next level concepts there. Grandmother colors, right? You have mother colors. Everybody's using that. Oh, yeah, but the next level shit, that's the grandmother colors. The colors that give birth to those colors that give birth to the colors, right? It's some next level shit there. Fire Drink 18. I think he meant mother color. Yeah. Brandon. Dope. Mother colors. Yeah. Killer Whale. What a mother color. Oh, I kind of already explained it there. Old Man. I think he's also being a smartass. Is he? Well, knowing the B-Man, yeah, he's being a smartass. Brandon, no, we don't need a tutorial. I was being hilarious because of last week's episode. Oh, you were being hilarious. I don't know if we can refer to ourselves being hilarious when we're not being funny. Can we? I don't know. Killer Whale. Like mixing your own paints? We'll talk. I mean, we talked about it last week on the show about mother colors. And yeah, it's the concept is, okay, real quickly here. Here's mother colors for anybody out there, right? Okay, for example, blue being a mother color in the sense that it is a color. We take that hue and we add it to whatever values we're working in. So if we're using reds, we'll use just a teeny bit of blue and throw that in there to unify across a paint job. Now, this makes a lot of sense in painting when we're painting two-dimensional canvases and we're talking about, you know, say for example, landscape painting. And we want to have this very blue cast because we want to represent, say, depth, right? Because whenever you look at objects in the real world and you're looking at landscapes, right, you often will perceive things with depth that have a slight blue shift because that's the atmosphere. We're seeing the atmosphere, and so it desaturates color and introduces more blue into those colors. So something that's red way off in the distance will have blue in it. You will perceive the blue. It won't actually have blue in it. It just, we perceive it, right? Because when we're painting, we're representing. So when you take a mother color, or the concept of mother color, fuck, this is ridiculous. But anyway, you're adding that color into the other colors to maintain a consistent theme. That's it. That's, in a nutshell, that's a mother color. So if you took blue, yeah, you'd add it to a red, and that would give it a slight blue shift. You would add it to white, give it a slight blue shift. Add it to black, give it a slight blue shift. Add it to whatever the fucking color you're working on, and that would maintain a unifying theme throughout the paint job. That's it. That's all it does. A very similar concept. You are already using that kind of idea when you apply a shade wash over the entirety of a model. So for, like, when we talked about this last week, for example, you had, say, a model with a red head and white arms and, you know, had other details, and then you went and applied, you know, Agrax Earthshade over the entirety of the model. Agrax Earthshade being the mother color to the entirety, which being a raw umber and tone, and that would be raw umber would be your mother color, right? That's it. It's like, in a nutshell, I just described it to you. And when working within, say, monochromatic, well, the monochromatic, whatever color you're working with is your mother color because you're working in a monochrome, right? I mean, again, it's just these concepts. I mean, is it necessary for you to know? No. Are you going to be able to paint not knowing it? Yeah, you'll be fine without knowing this shit. You know, like, anyway. Old Man Logan. Ancestral colors. Right, exactly. We got mother colors, we got grandmother colors, and we got ancestral colors. Ancestral colors, man. That is the next plateau. So you have mother color, you have grandmother color, and you have ancestral colors. Man, we're busting out all sorts of concepts today. Oh, shit. Fire Dricadine. You should punish him, Kris. Do a mother color tutorial, but with the Swedish chef. Yeah. Oh, shit. Dark Commission. I watched a video on mother colors this week, but I can't remember who made it. Okay. James of Kent. MILF colors? Now that's a tutorial I'll make. On MILF colors? Yeah. On MILF colors. Killer Whale. Oh, I did that already. I'm doing that right now, actually. Yeah, it's not a very difficult concept. It's not, you know, we're not talking very highbrow. It's just a unifying color to create a unifying theme across a paint job. That's it. Anyway. No fucks. Horny stepmother colors. That's some fringe right for you there. Some horny stepmother colors. I dig it. Killer Whale. Primordial colors. Ah, primordial colors. There you go. See, killer? You've already nailed it right on the head right there. Primordial colors. You've got mother color, you've got grandmother color, you've got ancestral color, then you've got primordial colors. Boom. Right? How far down a rabbit hole do we want to go with all of this? Oh, and MILF colors. Where does MILF colors fit in? MILF colors is kind of like mother color, but you know, it's where we're getting really, really dangerous. That's actually we want to have fun. That's where we go. You've got the mother color where we take that pretty seriously, but then we got the MILF colors. Yeah. And personally, I'd rather be dealing in MILF colors than mother color and grandmother color, because then it's kind of, I got to be respectful and everything like that. Whereas MILF colors, we can have some fun. We can go for drinks over there with MILF colors. we can have fun, have a party, go see a movie, talk about it, have some fun, maybe a few drinks, then end the evening off with, you know, with a cigarette afterwards. But, you know, oh man. James Kent, I'll handle to MILF colors. Don't worry. Yeah, you'll handle the MILF colors. Yeah, go right ahead. Handle the MILF colors. I'm already married, so I can't play with the MILF colors. I have to ask permission to play with MILF colors. Holy shit, no fucks yet. There we go. Interdimensional colors. Only viewable while on mushrooms. That's it right there. Man, I'm getting hot. Oh, you know what? Because I'm getting kind of warm. It's kind of lunchtime. And the last swallow of my coffee was ice cold. There's your iced coffee there. Lord Krabby, MILF colors. Me likey. Right? I mean, you know. Yeah. It's all about the right concepts, really. Oh, shit. Okay. Last emails, because we're going to call it a day because we're 5 minutes OT. This one is from our good buddy B-Man, Brandon. If I put a dull coat over transfers, will they no longer be glossy? And so he wants to know about dull coat on top of, so basically dull coat being a matte varnish spray. And yeah, it would unify. Now, all the nice little shiny metal bits will get dulled down as well. Unless, of course, you mask off the metal bits so that they don't get dulled down and you apply it. Yes, definitely. But yeah, it will kill the metallic shine on your areas. I like the weathering, though. Can we zoom in a bit on that? Yeah. In fact, you know what I would do? Before you apply dull coat onto the model, I would weather that the decal, that imperial symbol. Take a little bit of whatever that base color is. On here, it looks like you did black and then did a gray edging. I'm not 100% sure, but whatever that base color is in the like the 90% of the space of that area, whatever that base color is, I would take like a little bit of sponge or whatever way you do your weathering, like, because how you weather it looks great. And I would, you know, go around the corners of the symbol and just do a bit of weathering on that symbol, just to unify up the weathering, because otherwise you'll have this really kind of weird contrast of, you know, the black elements and the yellow elements, and then that symbol is just so stark, versus if you weather it a bit, it unifies the overall vibe on the model, right? But yeah, I think that looks fantastic though. I really dig your weathering on here. There's some really good weathering. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. But yeah, I'd strongly recommend weathering the decal first, and then putting the dull coat. And the dull coat, when you throw that, or whatever matte varnish, right? Dull coat is essentially just like a matte varnish. And that will unify up everything on all those surfaces. And yeah, it'll make that transfer look like part of the model. Especially if you used your microset to make that transfer adhere nice and strong to the surface. Yeah, it'll look really good. It'll look like you hand painted it onto that surface, for sure. Well, this is definitely okay. Well, here's one last email. We're gonna end this off on a high note here. This was another email from the B-Man. Bought it from my kid. He won't wear it. The dog doesn't have a choice, and this is fucking fantastic. I'm definitely going to add this to the monkey shrine later. Yes. So the boy didn't want to wear it, or I don't know. Your kid. You said your kid? I don't know. Did you have a boy or a girl? I don't even know. I'm sorry, B. But either way, the little punk doesn't want to wear it. So the doogie, the dooge is wearing the Way of the Brush. I love it. This is going in the shrine, and I'm gonna actually show the old lady later too, because she'll get a kick out of it, and Jen will get a kick out of it as well. But yeah, I dig it. I dig it, man. This is definitely going in the shrine. This definitely belongs in the shrine. I like even like the slipper. Why is there just a slipper? One slipper in the shot. I don't even know. But I love it. That's fantastic. And yeah, I'm gonna definitely put that in the shrine later. When I say I put it in the shrine later, it almost sounds like kind of like a Spank Bank reference, but it's not. It's not going in the Spank Bank. The Spank Bank. Spank Bank. Spank Bank. All right. Any last parting words of wisdom? Dr. Santos, monkey dog. It's a monkey dog. Lost alien. LOL. Yeah. Fire Drake, episode 337. If you perceive no colors, do you in fact see all colors? No. But really, it does ask the deeper question: what is color? Right? Because really, does color exist only within our eyes? Because what we perceive as color is actually light hitting a surface and reflecting into our eyes. And the chemical makeup of an object is how we perceive. So if there's a lot of carbon in something, then we perceive it as black, right? If there's a lot of titanium in it, then we perceive the white, right? And whatever other chemical makeup. But my point being is that it's whatever spectrum of wavelength is what we see. And so the object absorbs the light and reflects out that spectrum, that wavelength. And our eyes tell our brain, oh, we see that color, right? And then, of course, the chemical makeup of the rods and cones in our eyes allow us to perceive color versus other creatures who do not perceive those. And, of course, there's other creatures that perceive wavelengths outside of what we perceive, right? Because there's creatures that I'm sure can perceive the ultraviolet and infrared, right? Infrared being body heat, right? Predator vision. Who doesn't want to see predator vision? I mean, I wish we perceived infrared, because then, fuck, that'd be awesome. But colors... do colors actually exist? That's the question. Do colors even exist? Without light, does color exist? Because from what we understand, light being all spectrum of light, right? So light is all spectrum, because when you remember in science class, right? You took the prism, shine a light through it, and you get the rainbow. That's why, because it's the wavelength. And so whatever an object is made of, the light is interacting with it, and then we perceive it as such. So a light color color might even just be a human construct, because it's how we perceive things, right? Anyway. James Kent, don't talk about how we see colors if color exists. This always freaks me out thinking about. Well, right, it's because, you know. Does color exist? Does it really exist? Or is it just how light interacts with the rods and cones in our eyes and how our brains interpret it, right? Because the purple doesn't exist, right? In the spectrum of light, purple does not exist. It's ultraviolet, but purple, the color purple, like a proper purple, doesn't exist. Our eyes and our brains make that connection that this red-blue value is purple. But yeah, purple doesn't exist, apparently, according to scientists. No fucks given. Colors is just a form of energy our eyes to identify the appearance and distance. Birds see magnetic waves which guide their migration. Right, exactly, right? Which is why the cell towers and all this stuff, it fucks with the animals, because it throws off those magnetic waves. That's why geese no longer fly all the way south anymore, because they're the cell towers fuck with them. So it's fucking with their migrations. Fire G-Teen, but is that all the colors? Is it all the colors? Right. Well, what colors aren't we seeing, right? Like I said, purple doesn't exist. According to scientists, according to light, purple does not exist. And so our brains make it up. Our brains make it up. So can our brains perceive any other colors? We talked about this one a while back. Apparently there's some people, and apparently a lot of women have this particular thing where there's like an extra cone in the eye, and they can actually differentiate between colors. So a black and a black next to each other, but they can see that there's a slight variance in the color, and they're not actually the same color. So what we perceive, right? Because some people have more perception. It's extra perception. The Lost Alien. Your red is not the same as my red because our eyes are not the same. No, exactly, right? How you perceive, and that also trails out into color blindness, right? Because they're not perceiving colors the same way. And yeah, and even like when we're looking at colors on our screens are not all calibrated the same way. We perceive color on our monitors and our TVs in different fashions. When I'm looking at a color on my phone, it is not the same as what color I'm perceiving on a display. Even though they might be the same hexadecimal value, the calibration of the monitor is not the same as what is on the phone, which is not as the same as what's on the TV, which is not the same as somebody else's monitor. Even calibration across monitors from the same company are not the same. Even TVs calibrated, even the same brand, the colors might not be calibrated the same way. It is a big thing talking about colors sometimes, right? But yeah. James Kent. Apparently butterflies can see more colors than humans. Their eyes have extra science bits in them. Science bits. Is that what we're going by? It's just extra science bits. Fire 18, isn't that scary? You never know what you perceive out in the corner of your eye. Yeah, exactly, right? And sometimes you'll see things, right? And that's why sometimes we perceive ghosts, because it's like we saw something there. We look, oh, it's gone. What was that? Don't know, you know? So yeah, it's our brains playing tricks on us. Oh, and then the other one, the fun one, is the blind spot, right? Your blind spot. Everybody has one because that's where the nerve bundles head back into your brain. There's no rods and cones there. So you can actually find your blind spot by, I can't remember what it is. It's like a little diagram, and you stare at it, and then you'll find that the spot will appear. And that is your blind spot, because you actually do not see from that area, because that's where all the nerve bundles and everything like that head off into your brain, because there's no rods and cones there, right? So yeah, it's cable management. It's all about cable management. James Kent, brilliant. My mind is spun out for the next hour. And you know what? On that note, yeah, let's end it on that high note of, yeah, if we're gonna do a tutorial on mother color, or even daughter color. Ooh, what's daughter color, right? So mother color, daughter color, her friend, the MILF color, my fave. And then of course we got grandmother color, then we got ancestral color, and then we got primordial colors, right? So all that theory, all that color theory, what does that mean? Fucking bumpkiss, really. Careful around the daughter colors, yeah, because then you got to watch out for her dad, right? Because if you're looking at daughter colors, oh, you got to be careful, because she might also have a mean dad with a big gun. And so yeah, I'll stick to the MILF colors. Not the GILF colors either. MILF. Holy shit. If you're brand new to this hobby, you want some help with a color scheme, or your commission painting service, you want to show off what you're working on, whatever it is, send your emails to chris@wavethebrush.com. It is in the description below. If you're going to send pictures, send them as attachments in the email. Don't send it off with a link to other sites, because then I just won't bother reading it. And of course, if you're on the Instagram side of things and you want to share your pictures, use the hashtag #WayOfTheBrush. And I will, because I've been doing it on the show lately, so using, that's hashtag as well. Also in the description below is a link to waveofthebrush.com, central hub of all the silliness. Has links to all the social medias as well as Discord. Join us on Discord. It's a lot of fun. We keep the conversation rolling there 24/7. So join us on Discord. It's a lot of fun. And, if there's various channels. There's some weirdness. It gets weird in there. But I only have one rule. It's my one rule. Don't be a dick. Just don't be a dick, and I won't have to ban you. Look at him. He's all tuckered out. Anyway, and yeah, so wayofthebrush.com. Links for t-shirts. Forgot the usual spiel. Links for t-shirts. If you want to look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world, and also put on your dog, apparently, go to just click the links. I'm losing it. I'm fucking done. Fuck it. I'm done. Killer Whale. I'm gay, so I'll stick with DILF colors. Right. I forgot about the DILF colors. Right. You know what? My bad. My bad. Base coat me, daddy. Right, I forgot about the DILF colors. My bad. My bad. You know. I'm done. I can't do my ending spiel. Patreon, huge thank you to all you. Without you guys, this channel just would not be able to go on. And I would not be able to continue to educate and inform and possibly entertain. And of course, yeah, we got to take care of the DILFs as well. So, man, there's all sorts of color theory we got busting out of our ass, right? We've got mother colors, we got MILF colors, we got DILF colors, we've got daughter colors, you got to watch out for their dad colors, and of course we've got grandmother colors, ancestral colors, and primordial colors. Holy shit, we got all sorts of colors coming out of the ass. We got colors that we can't even perceive, they're beyond our perceptions, right? Because we got ultraviolets, infrareds. Man, is color even real? That is the question. Does all this color theory even matter? Because it's all in our head, right? Because it's a theory, and theories are just ideas. I like that though, DILF colors. I forgot about the DILFs. Right, because we gotta share some love with the DILFs, right? So, yeah. Base coat me, daddy. That's fucking killing me still. Oh, shit. All right, I'm getting the hell out of here, people. Take care of your brushes. They'll take care of you, and I will see you guys next time. Oh, yeah, I forgot to thank Guy Murrell for my bad, and I forgot to thank my brother, Evan. Yeah, I can't do it. The whole DILF situation's fucking with me right now. It's too funny. It's because it's kind of rude. Like, I forgot about the DILFs. The MILFs and the DILFs. Like, you know, you gotta respect the DILF.